Well, I think it's time to take a look at two of the coolest rock that you can use in the aquascaping hobby. I hope you enjoy. Well, welcome back to the small scape. I thought it would be fun to do a versus between two of the coolest rock. We've got Seiryu stone and we've got dragon stone. Huh? Who's gonna win? First of all, before I forget, let me know what's your favorite. Do you have a clear favorite? Have you used it before? Do you like to use it? Either of these? Do you like both? What are your thoughts? I love them both, but there are some similarities, there are some differences, and there's also just a few little things I'd like to point out that could save you some frustration going forward. So let's start off with the similarities. First off, they're gonna be the same price. If you find them in the fish store, a fish swap, maybe something like Aquashella, any kind of rock seller is probably going to be selling them at $3 to $4 a pound. Yes, that can be pretty steep when you're talking a larger tank, but it's another added bonus for dealing with nano tanks, because smaller tanks mean smaller amount of pounds that you're gonna be using to fill it. That's just a little hashtag Team Nano. Now, the other thing along with price is availability. I don't think I've ever gone somewhere where they only have one or the other. Both of them are equally available, so you can find them pretty much anywhere. Even Petco PetSmart has them in like a bag. It's like a 25 or a 35 pound bag of very nicely sized and shaped pieces. I find I've gotten both of them before, and that comes in really handy. Now, the other thing is, and a lot of you may already know this, but keep in mind, when you purchase these, the color's gonna change. Yes, when you put them underwater, they will get darker, just like any other rock. Just something to keep in mind. And then also, these rock are both used very well and very successfully in not only a basic aquascape, but also very high-end aquascapes. So they contribute very well if you just want to keep it very simple. I have seen some really sweet aquascapes with just, say, a single rock. It's really quite amazing. They're very amazing rocks. The other thing that they're very similar in is where they come from. Both of them originate from Japan, which is a fun fact. Now, something to keep in mind is, well, the names. You may see these called different things. So, Dragonstone is also known as Oko stone, but Seiryu stone is also known as Dragonstone. Sometimes it's also known as Yin stone, but I've never seen it sold that way. I've just heard sometimes that it can be called that, but I've never actually seen that done in practice. Also, it's called Blue Dragonstone or Black Dragonstone. And I think they're both named after some sort of dragon character or a constellation or something like that. So that's kind of very interesting to keep in mind. In case you've ever been confused in the past, that's a nice little tip that they could in fact be calling both of these Dragonstone. But I generally call this Dragonstone, the brown, and then the gray I call Seiryu stone. Or actually my son does take Japanese, and I believe he said that the correct pronunciation is Seiryu stone. So if anybody knows the exact pronunciation, let me know, because I believe I was originally corrected to say Seiryu stone, kind of like 3 syllables, but it could be 2 syllables, Seiryu. So obviously the color is different. Dragonstone is brown. It's got a really nice earth tone or warm color tones. If maybe you're going for something a little bit more cooler toned, Seiryu stone would be your guy. It's actually got a bluish kind of undertone, a very cool tone, and it also comes in black. And this white, this looks really cool underwater because it does have calcite, this white striping going through it, which can add a whole lot of character to your tank. Now, there are 2 distinct advantages to each of these. These are your final tips. Dragonstone, I really like to get this if I at all think that I'm gonna need to make smaller pieces. Say you go and you just get a bag or you order it online. I like to get Dragonstone that way without actually hand picking the pieces, because it's actually a very brittle rock, and you can easily break it apart with a hammer, any kind of hammer. And it breaks apart actually very easily, sometimes a little bit too easily, but that's okay. Be careful with it. Now the bonus for Seiryu stone is, yes, it is quite a bit harder, but it's much easier to clean. Yes, it does have little like nooks and crannies and stuff that can hold dirt and stuff, so you definitely want to wash both of these. We typically soak our rocks. I don't recommend boiling rocks. We don't boil any rocks whatsoever. That can go horribly wrong depending on the rock, and we just soak and clean it. So get yourself a nice brush, big bucket of water, and brush it and clean it off. That's personally what we do. There are other, you can always Google it or look it up, and there are other ways to clean rock, but this dragonstone, if you don't thoroughly clean it, the crevices in here are actually holding clay, like this actual part of the rock, little clay powder that will come out once you put it in your aquarium and you finish aquascaping it and adding your fish, and there you go, your tank gets all cloudy and you don't know why. Could be this guy right here. So this is much harder to clean, but much easier to break. And generally speaking, I don't believe either of these rocks change your water parameters that much. At least any kind of rock will change your water parameters if you have a very low KH. We do not have low KH, low pH, we're all kind of high. So rock generally doesn't touch our water parameters because it's already hard water, but keep that in mind as you go searching for your rock for your next aquascape. So I appreciate you watching this video. Again, let me know, what are your favorites? Do you like them both? Do you love them both? Have you not tried them? If you haven't, I highly recommend it. And if you're just kind of starting out, I do recommend the Petco PetSmart little bags. They really do come in handy, and they come in multiple little pieces, and you can practice. Just set up yourself like a dry scape. That's how I started out, and you don't even have to add water. You treat it kind of like a little Zen garden. It's really fun to just dry scape. Just have a tank out, put some sand in there or gravel, and just play around with your rock until you see kind of like the style you like and all that. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.